Welcome to episode 4 of the Mental Dietitian podcast. This one was with me, and it is why doing hard things or / uncomfortable things is important to change your life. Really had fun with this one. Something I'm really passionate about. Hope you enjoy. Welcome to the Mental Dietitian podcast. Today, it is with me. It is with this guy. This episode is going to be talking about the importance of doing hard things. I truly believe that how uncomfortable you are in your life when you purposely choose to be uncomfortable, whether it be through exercise, whether it be through starting a new job, having those uncomfortable conversations in your relationship, doing some kind of martial art, doing some kind of fasting, going into the cold, going into the hot, whatever it may be. Doing hard things is what shapes you as a human being. It's what shaped me as a human being. I look at where I am in my life right now and really think about all the hard things that I've had to do to get here, all the uncomfortable things. Because realistically, hard is like waking up not knowing if you can feed your kids. Hard is waking up not knowing if you're going to get a bomb dropped on you. In the Western world, and where most people are going to be listening to this, we don't have to deal with hard things. We have to deal with uncomfortable things. I truly believe that the quality of your life is directly linked to how many uncomfortable challenges you go through. And most people are too comfortable. We're so damn comfortable that tiny little things make us uncomfortable, like somebody cutting us off in traffic, somebody on social media saying something that we don't agree with. And it just really bothers me a lot to see people complain and can see people. It comes from being too comfortable, not really knowing how good they've got it. So I really wanted to talk to you guys today about choosing to do things that make you uncomfortable, because I really, really believe from the bottom of my heart that it'll help you develop who you are as a human being, and it'll help you believe in yourself. If you don't have any confidence, the reason why you don't have any confidence is because you haven't done enough things that are uncomfortable. You haven't done enough things that are uncomfortable to make you feel confident within yourself. If you've never gone to the gym and pushed yourself in the last few reps, or if you've never had that uncomfortable conversation with your spouse or with a potential spouse, or if you just never do things that push you out of your comfort zone. And if you do that, you'll end up being soft mentally and soft physically. And what I mean by that is you don't want to be this hardened, horrible person. Maybe somebody might take it that way. I mean, can you do things that when your brain tells you to stop doing them and give up, can you push through? I'm not talking about David Goggins' style where he broke his feet 80 miles into a 100-mile race and ran on broken feet for 20 miles. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, can you wake up in the morning and can you just get up when your alarm goes off and not press snooze? Can you build upon that? It's like, well, Ahren, that's not that hard, or that's not that uncomfortable. No, but it will lead to other things. This podcast is made for somebody. This particular one is made for somebody who's like, man, the life that I'm living right now, the quality of life that I'm living, I know that there's more. I know that I can do more. I know that I could be more, become more. And I want to make sure that I can give you tips, because I'll tell you a bit about my story. I got expelled from 2 high schools, never went to university, thought that I wasn't going to do anything in my life. And now through my career, I've made a lot of money. Through my relationships, I have some of the best friendships, the most closest friendships in the world. I've been in a relationship for 7 years. That is hard. That is hard to do. That is uncomfortable. The reason why we have remained in that relationship, Lexi and I, is because we have uncomfortable conversations. We've had many, many, many uncomfortable conversations. I think that most people's relationships don't last very long is because they are not willing to have those uncomfortable conversations. The reason why you are not making the money that you want to make at your job or in your career is because you are not willing to do uncomfortable things, whether or not that is getting more education, whether or not that is having an uncomfortable conversation with your manager or your boss,
whether or not that is getting uncomfortable and being like, you know what, I'm so freaking awesome at this that I can go do this myself. And that is uncomfortable. All of it is uncomfortable. That's why the quality of your life is directly tied to how many things you choose to do that are uncomfortable. And if you don't choose to do anything, you will, it's funny that you've probably heard that saying before, that if you choose the easy path, it will lead to a hard life. And if you choose the hard path, it'll lead to an easy life. Is it easier right now to have a burger just on the way home? You know, I'm hungry. I'm tired. I worked a long day at a job that doesn't nourish my soul. I'm just hungry. I'm going to stop at McDonald's. That is easier than to go make food at home that is healthy. But again, you are a sum total of all the decisions you've made. A lot of people are like, well, I didn't choose to be here. Yes, you did. You chose to be here where you are in your current situation. Not always. Like, there's some things that are outside of this, but most people have chosen their situations because every time they have smoked a cigarette, for example, or eaten a crappy meal, or not exercised, or not decided to save money, they are in a certain place because of those decisions. It's like, well, I don't like being 300 pounds. Like, of course you don't. That's fine. Like, I'm not healthy. I didn't choose to be here. Yes, you did. You chose. Every time you ate something, you are voting for the person you want to become. That's some James Clear 101. Every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. So I don't want to become that person. Your actions say otherwise. I'm sorry. And that's why it's so important to do hard things. I get really passionate about this. I get really fired up about this because I was thinking, like, I'm not where I want to be. I'm really hard on myself. I've learned so many things through putting myself in uncomfortable situations, even down to my tattoos. The pain that I felt through my tattoos, and like really sitting with that pain and like, this is uncomfortable. Why am I doing this? When I'm doing jiu-jitsu and my neck is hurting and I'm tired and like I have to go against a big guy, I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself in this uncomfortable situation? At the gym, when you just don't want to go. When you're having a fight with your spouse and you know that you're the one that fucked up and you have to go quash your ego. Being 5 hours into an LSD experience and dealing with your childhood trauma and realizing that there's reasons why in your life you do certain things that link back to when you're a scared little 8-year-old boy getting kicked on the field at school by an older kid. And all these things led off from that point. That's hard stuff. That's hard stuff that I've personally had to do and personally I've had to deal with. And if you don't do hard things, you won't be where you want to be. So the first little while of this recording is just to hammer that in there, just hammer that point. Because if you don't do hard things, you won't get to where you want to go in life. Life's hard. Life's not easy. It's not comfortable. Don't get me wrong. There's really beautiful moments that are full of bliss and it's amazing and it's awesome and you should enjoy those moments. Don't rob yourself of enjoying a beautiful moment. But if you know in your life that you can do more and that you're purposely choosing not to do things because they're uncomfortable, then I want to give you 5 things that you can do today. You always see this top 5 things you can make $1 million in a month. Top 5 things that this person did. Like, no, I want to give you actionable things that you can do. Ready? Number 1, something you can do that is uncomfortable tomorrow morning when you wake up is get up when your alarm goes off. Why? It's like, oh, that's not hard. Well, why do you press snooze every morning? Every time you press snooze, you are robbing yourself of a little win to start the day. Just a win against yourself. Just a little tiny win. And you can stack up upon that during the day and you can develop confidence just from doing that. Number 1 is getting up when your alarm goes off. Because you won. Like, I won. I beat myself. I beat me wanting to stay in bed. It's so simple, but it'll blow your mind if you compound that every single day. If you compound that every single day, it'll blow your mind. Number 2, the last 10 seconds of your shower, turn it to cold. If you can't stand in cold water for 10 seconds, how do you expect yourself to do anything else uncomfortable in your life? Especially, imagine you're studying for a doctorate degree for years, or you want to build a business, or you want to build a YouTube channel, or for me, I want to build this podcast. How on earth can I do uncomfortable things if I can't even just count 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, turn it off, get out of the shower, don't turn it back to hot. That one little thing has helped me so much. I'm up to a minute now. Could I do it for 5 minutes? Probably. I probably could. I know I can. I've done cold dips in freezing rivers for like 4 or 5 minutes. But this is a daily practice that I can do, and it just makes me feel good. There's scientific reasons behind it. It's amazing for so many different things. Look it up yourself. Do your research. But 10 seconds. 10 seconds, that's it. You can build upon that, but 10 seconds. A lot of people try to replace consistency with intensity. Intensity can't replace consistency. You can't not brush your teeth for an entire year, then brush them for a week straight and still expect to have a nice smile. It's not going to work. It doesn't work. So if you just do 10 seconds a day, every day in the shower, in the morning, you're having a win. It's another win. It's another little win. Number 3, fasting. Why I love fasting is you are voluntarily putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation. And that uncomfortable situation is hunger. And some of us are not ourselves when we're hungry. You'll notice emotions. You notice things come up within you. You notice you get triggered about things. And if you do that, and if you can't control that, that is a really good indicator that you need to look at yourself. Because whatever makes you squirm when you're in these states of uncomfort, when you're like, you start maybe having the recurring thoughts, it's something to look into. It's something that is affecting your life in a negative way. I think fasting is amazing. There's so much science behind it. Again, look it up. Look it up, do what's right for you. There's so many different ways of doing it. You can do an 18-6 split, which is what I usually do. You eat 6 hours a day in a window and you fast for 18. It's changed my life. I feel fantastic. I've lost about 15, 16 pounds in about 3 months. And I go in and out. I don't do it all the time, but I do it most of the time now. And I think it's a lifestyle that I'm going to stick with. And why I say that you should fast is because you are doing something uncomfortable. It is hard. It is not the normal thing to do. How nice is it to wake up in the morning and just have some nice food? It's awesome. But try not to eat till 12. Stop eating around 6. Don't eat till 12. 18 hours. Boom. 6 p.m. Eat at 12 noon the next day. See how you feel. If you can't do that straight away, start. If you usually eat breakfast at 7, eat it at 8. Then eat it at 9. Then eat it at 10. Then eat it at 11. And eventually you get to 12. Number 4, exercise. I wrote down exercise / martial arts / Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And because I wrote it like that, because I would love to say everybody should practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And the reason why I think everybody should practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is because you are going against other people, but you're also going against yourself. And you get to learn and remain calm when other people would freak out in certain situations. If somebody's got your neck and they got you like this, and they're going to put you to sleep if you don't tap, but you know that you can escape, it's very interesting. This fear comes up. You kind of get scared. And if somebody's got your arm or your leg and they're bending it the wrong way and they're trying to rotate your arm back like this, it's scary. But the amazing thing it does within you is it helps you control your emotions. It helps you control and learn that, okay, I don't have to be scared right now. I can get out of this. And you can think in uncomfortable situations. And then maybe something happens at work, like a deal. I'm in sales, and a deal goes sideways. And I've noticed ever since I really started practicing jiu-jitsu and doing it for the past year consistently now, is that uncomfortable situations will happen at work, and I don't have this like, oh shit, oh my God, I'm like, okay. And I can think and I can remain calm. Now, exercise and lifting weights can do the same thing. If you push yourself cardio wise and you just can and you get into this rhythm and you're so uncomfortable, your body's like, stop, 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 stop. And you can stay there and just feel that and touch that and just kind of touch against it every single day. That will drastically change your life. But I think every person should start some kind of martial art. It doesn't have to be, it might even have to be a martial art. It could be Tai Chi, it could be yoga, but do something that moves your body every single day. You've only got one place to live, look after it. It's funny how people spend 30, 40,000, $100,000 on a car, but they won't invest $100 a month on a membership. You are going to be, you don't live in your car. Maybe some of you guys do, but you live in your body. Some of you guys pay for premium gas to put in your Audi or your BMW or your Mercedes, but you won't pay for some organic food. You only got one place to live, which is your body. Look after it. Number 5, I almost forgot. I wrote down the list. Number 5 is listen or read something every single day for 20 minutes. Now, some people's brains are better at listening versus reading. I love audiobooks. I also love music. I love all kinds of music. I love rock music. I love EDM music. I love meditation music. I listen to some beautiful meditation music every morning. I try and calm my nervous system. I try and be calm and have a great start to the day. I love music. But the reason why I feel like I am where I am in my life is because I've listened and read to so many different things in my life. And those things have helped me really see a different perspective from different people. Because think about this, what is a book? It is that person's brain and thoughts put into word form, or if they are speaking on some kind of podcast or some kind of audiobook, it is their brain and the way that they think that you can use, and it's like a buffet. You don't go to a buffet and eat everything. You take what you need and then you leave the rest. But a lot of people don't listen to these things. They're like, oh, it's not as good. It's not as good as music. It's boring. I can guarantee you that the beat is nowhere near as good, but the lyrics are a lot better than what you are listening. And the whole reason I started this podcast is called the Mental Dietitian Podcast, how you can better yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, by giving you a healthy mental diet. It starts with what you put in your eyes and what you put in your ears. Now, what you put in your mouth is a physical diet, what you eat. But what you put in your eyes and your ears will impact what happens up here. And what happens up here will impact everything. The way that you think is impacted by all of that. The way that you think impacts what you feed yourself. If you don't feel like you're worthy or feel like that you only have one place to live and you have this beautiful body, why would you look after it? Why would you put, to use that analogy, premium fuel in there if you just don't think yourself to be worthy, you don't have the confidence because you haven't done enough hard things in your life? Confidence comes from doing things you didn't think that you could do. And it can start tomorrow by just getting up when your alarm goes off. I hope this helped. I'm really looking forward to your feedback. And yeah, it's something I'm really passionate about. I wanted to share it with you guys. Please reach out to me on Instagram. Please reach out to me there. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and your perspective and things you're battling with. And if there's anything I can do to help, anything that I can add to your life, because the reason I started this is just to give one thing to one person. And if I can do that, then hell yeah. And hopefully I do more than that. But I think that we just need to live in a world that has people that are wanting to help other people. And the more that ripples throughout everybody, we can have a great world and a beautiful world where people are wanting to help other people. But anyway, I don't want to start rambling. Love you all.